بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. We greet you with Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh in blessed month of Rajab with the dua of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. Allahumma barik lana fi Rajabin wa Shaban wa balighna Ramadan. It is the year 1445 in sacred time for the Ummah of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. But for those who follow secular time, which has come from Dajjal, it is the year, I think it is 2024. You see, it's receding from my memory now because I pay more attention to the sacred time than the secular time. And this year, 2024, is a critically important year for the modern West. Because the modern West is led by the United States of America. Pax Americana is still alive. Pax Britannica has receded into history. And Pax Judaica has not as yet replaced Pax Americana. And the United States will have an election in November of this year. And there is the distinct likelihood that while they were successful in removing Imran Khan in Pakistan, they will not succeed in removing Donald Trump in the United States. And there is every likelihood that he might win the election and again return as President of the United States. I am not a follower of Trump. I'm only offering you an analysis. So don't come with any nonsense that I'm a follower of Trump. No. What are the implications? A Muslim must be following the Sunnah of the Prophet. And the Prophet, Allah's blessing be upon him, was someone who clearly observed his strategic environment. This is the strategic sunnah on which I've lectured in the past. And so we must be looking at the affairs of the world and anticipating what is going to come. What are the implications of a return of Trump as President of the United States for the modern West and for Pax Americana? And the first implication is not that they stole the election 4 years ago. That's history. That's history. The first implication is what's going to happen in Ukraine. And they are now, the Western world, which is supporting Ukraine in the war with Russia, are now in a state of terror. Because Trump has said it several times that he's a friend not only of the Ukrainian president, but he's also a friend of the Russian president. He's a friend of both of them. Yes, the president of the United States will not speak like that, but Trump speaks like that. And so if Trump becomes the next president, if he returns as president, the implication is that he is going to immediately get to work to stop the war in Ukraine. And in order to stop the war in Ukraine, you have to change the Western policy pertaining to that war. That we are going to support Ukraine to the end. That there can be no peace until Russia withdraws from Crimea, Russia withdraws from all the other territories where the Russian people themselves living in Ukraine have voted, we want to be a part of Russia. This policy of the West will have to go. And you have to sit down to negotiate now a peace different from the one that Ukraine wants now at this time. Will the West be prepared to accept this collapse of their strategy pertaining to Ukraine? It will be very embarrassing for Europe. It will be embarrassing for those in the United States who want to pursue the war. And so I want to use this opportunity to just issue a gentle warning to my people, and that is the likelihood of this embarrassment coming is so great that perhaps they might want to provoke the Great War between NATO and Russia and China before the election takes place. I hope and I pray they don't succeed. I hope and I pray that the Great War does not take place in 2024. But despite the fact that I don't want it to take place, it is still necessary for me to warn of the possibility that it might take place. And if we have to warn of this possibility, then as Muslims we have to prepare. We cannot remain in the cities because that's the worst place to live when a great war takes place. I have lectured on this subject so many times before, so you already know my views. May Allah protect us in this great war if it comes. Thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.